after doing this research for so many years, I have seen the evidence as to why trust matters and why it's critical to society. But why should organizations and business leaders care about and invest their scarce resources into trust? So on this slide, you see the following bullet points, and I'll walk you through each of them. We've found in the academic and in IDC research that trust, when compared to direct oversight, is more efficient and helps us move more quickly. This is somewhat intuitive, but it is worth emphasizing because I think we often take it for granted. I often ask people to think about the person that they work best with. When there is high trust, you don't have to double or triple check the work of that person, and you don't have to continually remind of their responsibilities. You're able to actually use that time on other efforts and thus provide more value to the organization as a result. Trust reduces the friction between people and reduces friction in organizations. If you zoom out and see what can be gained in a high trust organization, an organization that's characterized by these high trust relationships, the wins are enormous. We'll see later in this presentation the specific benefits that we've seen at IDC conferred onto organizations as a result of their prioritized investment in trust programs. It's also worth noting that 77% of organizational leaders also agree with this statement, that trust is critical for their organization to flourish. The academic research also has shown that trust mitigates the adverse effects of negative events. And I think that's a really weird way to say it. So to say that in another way, organizations who have secured high trust experience A, less business and revenue loss as a result of that event, and B, bounce back more quickly from that event. And business leaders agree with this as well. In IDC research, 73% stated that brand trust protects their organization against the negative effects of adverse events such as data breaches. In the academic research, this phenomenon is referred to as reputational priors, which is really just a fancy way of saying that if you have not disappointed me in the past and uphold or evidence, that you're upholding high business values, I'm more willing as a customer to say, wow, that's a rough go when a negative event happens. As opposed to if I were in a low trust position, your customers might then say, wow, well, they've been careless in the past, and that they've fallen victim to this is not surprising. So to that point, trust also engenders loyalty, especially in this recessionary environment where cost trimming measures are and have been underway. At IDC, we're seeing a very alarming but also reassuring pattern with the organizations that survive these cost trimming measures. They've already established high trust with their organizations, with the organizations that they partner with, and thus survive the tough decision making that organizations are having to undertake. In my own research with the University of Michigan and with IDC, trust emerged as the #1 predictor of consumer willingness or reluctance to share personal information. The value of this finding is all the more critical right now as we increasingly adopt AI and ML technologies. For both artificial intelligence and machine learning efforts, the quality of the insights gained is dependent on the quality of the data we have in hand. Organizations with high trust, as we've seen, are better able to collect the high quality data needed from their customers to generate high quality insight. Relatedly, we're seeing trust emerge as the #1 predictor of acceptance of innovations like artificial intelligence, like machine learning, and like automation. So if we're to flip that finding, this research finding that is surfacing over and over again, organizations that are currently working on AI and ML technologies will experience trust as a barrier to their success if high trust is not secured.